human beings, Power Gamer here. Merry Christmas! Hard to believe it's back already. I don't really have many plans this year, so I figured I'd just check the mail. Dear esteemed guest, you are officially invited to the first annual Christmas party. Tonight only, please arrive at the house next to the hospital on Guerrero Street. Sounds big, and hey, I haven't met my party quota for this year, let's do it! Well, this is the place.
Ah, Aidan, you made it!
Zev, what are you doing here? I thought you lived on East Street.
Yeah, I had to move out too many ghosts.
So, is this an outdoor thing, or are you gonna let me in?
Yeah, freezing to death isn't on the list, but we can do it if you want.
Yeah, I'd rather go inside.
You're the second guest who's arrived. This is my new neighbor, Dr. Stelloscope.
Hi. So, is this everyone?
Nope, we have one more guest coming.
No, I told you to stop selling to that store. They refused our last shipment. Oh no, 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 no!
Ah, yes, Lawrence Clark, CEO of the bread company. How you doing?
Why is he here?
I assume it's because of the postal service.
I'm not partying with him.
Why? What did I do?
You broke into my house.
And you sold me faulty bread and then sent me a terrible game which caused me to wake up in a Dollar Tree. Consider us even.
Guys, no fighting on Christmas. This is not Thanksgiving.
All right, fine. But I won't like it.
So, what activities do you have planned?
Well, there's the classic standing around and doing nothing. Looks like we've done that. Let's move to sitting.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
That's all you have planned?
Well, I tried to plan more, but I kept falling asleep.
You should get that looked at. There's a hospital next door.
Aren't you a doctor?
Legally, no. Spiritually, also no. Metaphorically, yes.
Well, does anyone else have any ideas?
We could go outside and freeze.
Nah, I'm trying to avoid that.
We could talk politics.
But we already agreed on everything.
Don't worry, I know a great way to pass the time. Nothing says Christmas party like living it up playing some Club Penguin for the DS.
You brought that with you?
Of course, never leave home without it.
Why would we do that?
Well, just let me explain. Club Penguin. It was more than just a game. It was a way of life. I'm sure this is gonna sound weird to anyone born after 2012, but Club Penguin was one of the most defining features of the late 2000s. It was a generational phenomenon, and one that I absolutely adored. For those unaware, Club Penguin was a browser-based MMO that was primarily aimed at kids. You walked around a small, snowy island as penguins, which served as your avatar. It was primarily a kid-friendly chat room, but there were also a bunch of parties held throughout the year, items you could purchase, and mini-games you could play, with one of the most prominent ones being the ability to become a secret agent and complete various missions in the form of a point-and-click adventure game. Club Penguin was a massive hit, so much so that the brand would be purchased by Disney, who seek to help expand it with a boatload of merchandise. This included plushies that I still own, figures, card games, and of course, full console video games. Shortly after the brand was purchased in 2007, Disney began working on developing a tie-in game for the Nintendo DS. It was published by their main studio, Disney Interactive Entertainment, and developed by First Playable Productions, which is an independent development studio based in New York City who seem to specialize in licensed games. There's not much info about this game's development other than the studio and how long it took to make, being 8 months, so I'm just gonna assume they decided to flesh out the secret agent aspect of Club Penguin since that was one of the game's most popular elements. Club Penguin Elite Penguin Force was released for the Nintendo DS on November 25th, 2008 in North America, with other regions not getting it until the following spring. But the game also ended up getting a collector's edition released in 2009, which came with a special stylus that I still own.
You brought that too?
The game did fairly well. It sold over 1.5 million copies, but reception was pretty mixed. But it did manage to get a sequel titled Herbert's Revenge, which was released in 2010. Of course, now these are all products of a bygone era, since Club Penguin was tragically shut down in 2017 to make way for a successor that didn't even last 2 years, so the brand is essentially dead.
So why would we play the DS game?
Because it's Christmas, and this was one of the most prolific Christmas presents I ever got. This was my first ever DS game.
I don't know. Sounds kinda dull.
Ah, come on, this is a great game. Just give it a chance.
Well, if you insist.
I can confirm. I do. Upon booting up the game, we get this cutscene of a secret ancient penguin walking into his headquarters. We then get to create our own penguin by giving them a color and a name. And now we can start the game. You can either continue on your main file or play as a guest, meaning it doesn't save your progress. This is nice since you can replay the game without deleting your save file, but it means you would have to beat the entire thing in one sitting.
Dang it!
As expected, the game takes place on Club Penguin, a small island above Antarctica populated by sentient penguins, as well as these adorable little fuzzball creatures called puffles. Our main mode here is the missions, which place you in a point-and-click setting much like the ones from the original, and giving you the ability to free roam around the entire island. The first penguin we can speak with is Antarctic,
Clever.
who's the editor for the newspaper, the Club Penguin Times. She suggests reading a copy in the coffee shop, so we head inside. After picking up the newspaper, a blue puffle walks in and hands us a note signed by someone named D. The puffle begins to follow us around, and we have to hand the note to other penguins. Eventually, we head to the snow forts where we find another note, help this guy get his hat back in exchange for Groucho Marx glasses, go to the plaza for a third note, and go to the dock for a fourth one. We then put the notes together to form a map and head to the lighthouse. There we find a large barrel, and outside pops a purple penguin. The penguin introduces herself as Dot the Disguise Gal, or Agent D, and we find out the puffle's name is Bouncer. Dot reveals that she was testing you to become a secret agent. It turns out that while everyone knows about Club Penguin's main defense organization, the Penguin Secret Agency, or PSA, there's an even more secret one called the elitepenguinforce, or EPF, and she's here to recruit you. You accept, and after another training mission, you are officially recruited into the EPF, and have to travel around the island solving various missions.
Wait, that's it?
As it stands, this game has a pretty solid story. Okay, it's nothing mind-blowing, but it does have a good sense of mystery to it, and you really want to see where it all ends up. Not to mention, this has some seriously good writing for a kid's game. In terms of the presentation, they absolutely nailed it. The artwork for this game looks exactly like the ones used in the original web missions, and it's super high quality for a DS game. Some of the animations are a little simple, but again, they always look like that, so I can excuse it. But let me tell you, they did not need to go this hard with the music. This game has a genuinely amazing soundtrack. Every song in here was either the wholly original or a new version of a song from the web game, and they are all great, and really varied too. You've got the nice and cozy town theme, the sweet and majestic beach music, the highly soothing lodge music, the killer nightclub song, and easily the best one of all, the dojo theme. I mean, talk about a major upgrade from before. Now let's get to the game. As I said, it's a point-and-click game where you travel around the island talking to people, or penguins, and picking up items to solve puzzles. The game is almost entirely played with a touchscreen. You can use the D-pad to move the cursor, but for the most part you want to use the stylus. You're given free roam over the whole island until you start a mission, in which case some areas aren't accessible. Club Penguin is home to a large number of locations, including the town, coffee shop, book room, nightclub, dance lounge, boiler room, cave, gift shop, snow forts, ice rink, plaza, pet shop, stage, pizza parlor, forest, mine shack, mine, dock, beach, lighthouse, beacon, ski village, sports shop, ski lodge, lodge attic, ski hill, iceberg, and dojo. And of course the Secret Agent HQ, which is hidden inside the sports shop. There are two main tools you have to utilize, your spy gadget and puffle whistle. The spy gadget, which conveniently resembles a Nintendo DS, has a bunch of built-in tools like a spy log, which just lists the missions you've done, an HQ warp, which instantly transports you back to headquarters, a decoder, which lets you translate secret messages, it takes way too long to actually do this, the communicator, which lets you call other agents, the mechano duster, which you use to clean things up, the flashlight, which lights up dark areas and it's only used twice in the entire game, and two more that I have to save for later.
Why?
Because.
The puffle whistle is used to call one of the elite puffles. Yes, that's right, puffles are also part of the elite penguin force. I'm glad they finally got that labor union worked out. There's 7 puffles you can call by blowing and or shouting into the DS microphone, and they each have a skill that lets you solve various puzzles. There's the previously mentioned Bouncer, the blue puffle, who throws snowballs, Blast, the red puffle, who shoots himself out of a cannon, Flare, the black puffle, who welds things like a blowtorch, Loop, the pink puffle, who uses her jump rope as a lasso, Pop, the purple puffle, who blows giant bubbles, Flit, the green puffle, who flies in a propeller cap to grab things, and Chirp, the yellow puffle, who can play a flute to shatter glass. What I really like about the puffles is that a lot of them actually serve multiple purposes. They aren't just used for one specific thing. Flare can weld things, but he can also light fires. Blast can smash stuff, but he can also knock things over. This game actually has some really cool puzzle-solving aspects, and it can be fun to figure everything out.
Well, I'm unimpressed.
How?
It feels way too basic. We need more action going on.
I mean, I just don't like it because, ugh, birds.
And while we're criticizing, where are all the Christmas decorations?
Yeah, for a Christmas party, this feels a lot more like Memorial Day.
Sorry, all the stores were closed.
Not all of them. There was a store open that I saw on the way here. They're bound to have some great Christmas decorations. I swear it looked different in the brochure. Most of the missions actually progress the main story. Talking to the right agent initiates a mission. Once you begin, you can't stop until it's done or you start over. Certain places are locked in certain missions, and if you exit out of the game, you have to start the mission all over again. Missions are progressed by either picking the right dialogue option or solving puzzles. In addition to your gadgets and puffles, you collect a bunch of objects that can help you along the way, most of which are given to other penguins. You're mostly just walking until after the first mission where you get a map which lets you fast travel, and I like how if you have an elite puffle, it actually shows up on the map. However, there are a bunch of side missions you can do. You unlock more and more of these as you go throughout the game. These are done by talking to random penguins, and they always give you a reward. Most of them are coins, but some give you extra clothing pieces. Much like in the original browser game, you can earn coins to buy clothing you can wear. Most of your coins come from mini-games and missions, but you can also get bonus ones by clicking on random objects, which I was gonna do anyway because this is fun. You can even upload your coins to clubpenguin.com, and never mind.
Yeah, still not interested.
Yeah, if I wanted to have boring conversations with people I don't like, I would have gone back home to my aunt's house.
Well, does anyone have any other ideas?
We can go on Omegle. Oh, never mind.
Alright, if the missions aren't interesting you, maybe the minigames can save it.
I'm listening.
Club Penguin was known for its extensive minigames, and thankfully this game is no slouch. We have 6 different minigames to play, 2 ripped right from the original browser game, but slightly expanded, 2 that are half taken from the original, and 2 that are completely new. Almost all of them are played with the touchscreen, and you can access these minigames from the main menu at any time, but you can also play them in the missions by going to the right spots. And some are flat out required at certain points to beat the game. If you score enough points, you can even earn medals. We'll start with the reused ones. First, we have ice fishing. You drop a fishing line into this hole and try to catch as many fish as possible while avoiding jellyfish, sharks, and crabs. This version also adds squids, which move slower. Eventually, you either see a giant red fish called the mullet, or a crab pushing a treasure chest, and you need a fish or a squid respectively to grab them. Kart Surfer, you ride down a track in a minecart and have to make turns by either turning or grinding. You can do all sorts of tricks to earn points, and the DS version adds an extra course. This is the only part of the game where you use the D-pad and buttons. I mean, you can use the touchscreen, but I'd like to see you try and make sense of this. Next are the trimmed down ones, like Jetpack Adventure. You fly through the skies on a jetpack while avoiding obstacles and collecting coins. You also need to collect fuel to keep going. This is actually easier than it was in the original, since that used the arrow keys, but here the touchscreen is much more precise. It's also only 1 level as opposed to 5. Dance Challenge is derivative of Dance Competition. The original was Dance Dance Revolution. This is Simon. You hold the system on its side and swipe in the corresponding direction, with a new one being added each time, and some being replaced. It can get pretty hectic. And finally, the original ones, Snowboarding. You ride down a hill, jump in the air, and swipe in the shape of these outlines to do tricks, but you can't be in the middle of one when you land, or else you crash and don't get any points. And finally, Snow Trekker. You travel around in this, well, Snow Trekker, and have to reach the goal under a time limit without taking too much damage. You move forward automatically and use the touchscreen to steer. You also need to switch between 3 modes: Normal, Aqua, where you blow into the mic to sail across water, and Plow, where you don't take any damage. Yeah, there is no reason to not be in Plow mode when you're on land.
You know, I'm impressed.
Really?
Yeah, it's even more lame now.
What is it with you guys? It's like you're not even trying to enjoy yourselves.
Look, dude, I've been busting my ass to get this party off the ground, and now you want to play a game based off a dead website?
Yeah, the hospital's crazy this time of year, so I'm not exactly looking to try new things.
But that's what the holidays are all about. You know what? How about we look at the actual missions, you know? Get more of a feel for the story.
Nah.
Well, screw you, I'm gonna do it anyway. I already discussed Mission 1, the mission unfold, so now you have to use the map to enter the dojo and start Mission 2, left to your own devices. You meet with Dot to begin your official training. After finding the entrance to the secret room, you're officially introduced to the leader of the EPF, known as the Director. You then meet PH, the Puffle Handler, who's responsible for training the elite Puffles, and she has you train with Blast. After smashing a crate, she gives you your own Puffle whistle to summon the Puffles at any time. You then meet Dot in the ski village, and she shows you the HQ entrance in the sports shop. Inside this cabinet lies the EPF command room. Here you assemble your spy gadget and have to find a way out on your own. Find the decoder, add it to your gadget, open this box, and get this antenna, which gives you the communicator. Congrats, you are now officially an EPF agent. Your first official assignment is Mission 3, Rookie on the Rocks. Another new recruit, known as the Rookie, was tasked with watching the ski hill, but he's gone missing. Apparently, he went down the test track, but his board snapped. You need something called a pro board to head down there, but the store is all out. Luckily, the sick penguin will give you his if you win a snowboarding contest. Give him the trophy, play some more snowboarding, and you wind up in the wilderness of Club Penguin. Walk around, and you eventually find Rookie stranded on the other side of this river. Apparently, he tried to drink from it because he ate some spicy O-berries.
Well, happens to the best of us.
Call for help, and an agent known as the Jetpack Guy will save both of you. When reporting to the command room, we find out that Rookie went down the test track to catch a runaway snowboarder, but he couldn't catch them. All he got was a small oil can. Regardless, the director thanks you and gives you a promotion. Mission 4, looking for clues. Apparently, Gary the Gadget Guy, or Agent G, the inventor of the EPF's gadgets, has gone missing. The director gives you a file and asks you to look around for info on him. And sadly, both his room above the sports shop and the agency's gadget room are locked, and only he can open them. By talking to various penguins, you learn he was wandering around the island island covered in snow and carrying some sort of weird invention on his back. The sports shop clerk will give you Gary's old glasses, don't know why he had them, and you can use them to open the gadget room. Here you find the mechano duster, use it to clear this mound of snow, and find the key to his room, but sadly it's broken and it snaps in half. Mission 5, All's Weld That Ends Weld, is about fixing it. PH decides to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, bad choice of analogy there, by having you train with Flare. Unfortunately, Flare can't seem to start his fire. Hey, it happens. Talking with the pet shop owner reveals that Flare might just be sad. It turns out Flare actually has a lot of friends around the island, but they haven't seen him in a while. So we get them to sign this postcard, and that cheers him up. Weld the key back together, and we can finally enter Gary's room. Looking around, we discover some weird blueprints and a map to a different part of the mine. All signs point to him being there, so we leave a note for the other agents.
So, now we're off to the mine to find Gary. Wait, where'd everyone go? Oh, I'm sorry. Was I boring you back there?
Yes.
Well, gee, thanks. You invite me to a party and all you guys do is ignore me.
Well, excuse us for not wanting to hear you blabber about some old DS game.
I thought it would be a fun way to celebrate the holidays, but this is just putting more stress on me.
I don't even like you. If I wasn't tricked, I wouldn't have come.
You know what? That's it. I've had enough. If you guys don't want me here, then maybe I should just go.
Fine with me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Was kinda hoping for a different response.
I think you've said enough.
Okay, maybe I can make it up to you guys. Do you want one of my copies of Wii Music? How about 2? 3? Maybe 6.
Just go.
Remember to lock the door on your way out.
I most certainly will not.
So, who's gonna lock it?
What do I care? I don't need them. I can just sit here and talk about the game by myself. Like I always do. Alone.
Mission 6, Do-It-Yourself Karting. You arrive at the mine, but no one else shows up, and all of the carts are gone. So this guy suggests you build your own out of spare parts. I don't think that's the best idea, but I ain't a mining expert. You then have to take your new cart for a spin down the hard track that has more obstacles and up and down turns that don't really do much. At the end of the track, you find G trapped under a minecart and use these balloons to save him. He gives you the flashlight, which you use to light up this tunnel, and you escape, but also see the strange shadow. The 2 of you return to HQ, but Gary's memory is a little fuzzy. Yeah, we can fix that later. We get another promotion. Mission 7, Double Trouble. You return to the dojo to continue your puffle training, but PH is trapped in a bubble. Burst her out, and you have to go find Loop and Pop, who ran off. Loop is at the ice rink doing tricks for her #1 fan, and you have to have Bouncer score a goal against this guy. This impresses Loop enough to come back with you, and you wrap up this jetpack. Pop is in the nightclub, but there's an exclusive party going on that requires fancy clothes. The gift shop's closed, so we go to the stage, catch this jackhammer, and pick up a suit. Get inside the nightclub, and hey, this guy doesn't look very fancy. We have to play Dance Challenge, and thankfully it is stupid easy. But then we hear this loud crash and go downstairs to find the boiler has been stolen. The only clue is this tiny oil can, just like the one Rookie found earlier, and using Pop to escape leads to finding Dot in the mine. It turns out the island's aqua grabber has also gone missing, along with many other things. So the director decides we need to finish our puffle training ASAP. Mission 8, Flying High Pitched. We meet Flit and play some jetpack adventure to follow Jetpack Guy to the tallest mountain in Club Penguin. Use Flit to gather rings, and then use Chirp to shatter this ice. We then return to the dojo for our final puffle test, which requires all 7 of them. Pop lifts the weight, Blast destroys the pinata, Loop lassos the toy to get the key, Chirp breaks the snow globe, Flare melts the ice, Bouncer cools off the chest, open the chest with the key, and Flit grabs the diploma, meaning your puffle training is officially complete.
See, what was I worried about? I don't need them.
So, how's the holiday season been?
Well, have you ever tried to run a bread company during Christmas? Not a fun time.
It can be worse than being a doctor. Everyone has seen extended families, and you have no idea how many injuries it causes.
I'd take injured kids over complaining adults any day. People are way too picky about the quality of their loaves and baguettes.
At least you guys didn't have to move during winter.
You know, I'm really not liking your attitude.
Yeah, I was fine when the anger was directed at other people, but now that it's directed at me, I'm very angry. You know, I am the richest one here, and I'm the one with the weapon, so I kind of feel like that puts me in power here. Hey guys, don't you agree? Hey, why don't you listen to me? I have weapons, weapons, weapons!
Before going on, I should probably discuss the side missions. They're all really simple. Hide and seek, you have to find 1 puffle of each color hiding around the island. A wrench in the works, help this construction worker find his lost wrench. Leaning order of pizza, deliver 4 pizzas to various penguins. Alien conspiracy, decode these messages that talk about an alien invasion only to find out it was just a test. The wrong orders, find penguins that got the wrong pizzas and make sure they get the right ones. Penguins at work, help the construction worker complete his tasks. Sweet friend of mine's, complete the hard kart surfer course to prove to this coward it's safe. Drifting away, find this penguin's lost sailboats and grab them with Flit. And cause and effect. Look for the owner of this scarf and end up helping others along the way. This game even has some missions that are time exclusive. If you play during December, the whole island is covered in Christmas decorations, and there's a mission where you help Santa deliver lost presents. Give this guy a snowboard, this one a guitar, this one a TV, and this one a pogo stick.
Well, it must be nice to get people things for Christmas. Whatever. What was that?
Hello, Mr. Aidan.
Who's there?
My name is Harold Henderson, and I'm here to serve as a spirit guide.
Wait a minute, you're a game show host, a real estate agent, and you're a spirit guide?
I don't pry into your personal life while you're prying into mine.
You know what, that's a fair point.
Anyways.
You need to get back to the party.
Oh, forget it.
Listen, the holidays are a stressful time for everybody, but that doesn't mean you should be rude to people. This time of year is supposed to be about bringing people in, not shooing them away.
You know what? You're right. Maybe I was a bit hard on them. Thanks, Harold.
No problem, and so sorry I couldn't be there in person. I'm on my way to my next shift at Burger King.
How many jobs do you have?
Enough to get by. Good luck!
I can cut all of your bread supplies off for a year! I run the bread company and I'd like to also draw your attention to my weapons!
Do you guys have any idea how hard it is to have ghosts in your house before you move?
Do you have any idea how angry people get when their nephew puts marbles up a kid's nose?
Well, I almost got sued this year, Miss Marble, and I am a CEO! I can't deal with that. I had to bring in not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 extra lawyers to win!
You know what? I'm starting to think this whole party was a mistake.
Me
too! What are we doing? It's Christmas and we spent the whole time yelling at each other.
Well, we've all been stressed out. I think it just went a little too far.
Yeah. Maybe we were a bit hard on, oh God, what's his name?
I mean, if nothing else, he gave us something to talk about.
Even if it was something we couldn't care less about.
And I'll admit, those insults were pretty entertaining.
Where have you been?
Just at the end of the block. Your neighbors really need better fences for their dogs.
So that's why so many patients had dog bites.
Guys, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped at you like that. The holidays are all about being together with people, not forcing everyone to do something that you want to do. It wasn't right for me to make you play that game that you didn't care about.
Well, we're sorry too.
Really?
You just wanted to talk to us about something you're really passionate about. It's not your fault that we didn't care.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better, I didn't really have any plans for this party anyway.
Plus, making fun of you was a great way to pass the time.
Thanks, guys. You know, I do have a few more missions left to beat. When do you say we finish them together?
Mission 9, Super Secret Gadgets. G asks you to assist his newest creation, the Snow Trekker. You head to the coffee shop to pick up a hot cocoa maker to power the Snow Trekker, because of course, and discover someone stole a bunch of Java beans. Bring the machine back to the gadget room and put the finishing touches on the Snow Trekker. Gary adds the key to your spy gadget and asks you to take it for a test. Play a game, wind up back in the wilderness, grab another oil can in a cave, get trapped, and find the Trekker covered in hot chocolate. Play another game, find out a miner lost his shovel, and dig this weird machine out of the snow. Go back to HQ, give Gary both the oil can and the machine, which he reveals is his robo-locator. This triggers his memory, and he finally explains what he was doing when he went missing. It turns out he designed a bunch of test robots to help with his experiments, but they ended up going haywire and ran off. He made the robo-locator to track them, but he lost it when he crashed in the mine, along with his notebook.
So, yeah, turns out G's robots have been the one causing trouble this whole time.
I knew you could never trust machinery.
After another promotion, we have Mission 10, Damage Control. G decides you need to shut down the robots, but he needs to work on a machine that will allow it, so he sends you to check on other agents investigating robot incidents. You find Dot in the nightclub, which lost one of its speakers, Jetpack Guy behind the ski lodge who saw the beacon's telescope get stolen, and Rookie in the plaza trying to fix the ticket booth that was stolen from the stage. Each location has a piece of G's notebook where you have to connect the dots, and they all have different ways of getting them. Dots, you just need to show up and you find it. Jetpack Guys, you play a game of ice fishing, and Rookies, you have to use flare to weld his makeshift ticket booth, which took me ages to figure out as a kid. Once all the pages are found, bring them to G and find out he's completed his robotomy device, which is the final tool for the spy gadget. The device will plug into the robot's hard drive to shut them down, but first you need to weaken them using the puffles. This leads into Mission 11, Robotomy 101. One of the robots, known as the Wheelbot, has been cornered in the gift shop. Sneak inside, and you find it damaging the vault. Have Bouncer hit it with a snowball, and he runs upstairs to steal the computer. Have Bouncer hit him again, and then have Flare weld its wheels together. He tries to broadcast a rescue signal, so use the robotomy device to disable him. We then get a minigame where you have to drag this battery to the black hole without touching the walls, and you do it 3 times. When he shuts down, have Pop blow a bubble and bring him to the gadget room where G discovers the robots might be trying to upgrade themselves. Mission 12, Robots on the Run, has you corner the next robot known as the Snowbot on the ski hill. He's ripping the ski lift apart, so you have Blast shoot him, chase after him on your pro board, and have Loop tie him up. Once again, he broadcasts a rescue signal, and you hack and disable it. Unfortunately, the signal was able to reach the final robot, the Jetbot. The Jetbot swoops down and grabs him as Jetpack Guy comes falling in. Grab some fuel and borrow his jetpack to chase after the robots. Try and bubble the Snowbot, but the Jetbot pops it. Have Flit knock this bag of Java beans on him, and then have Chirp blast some notes. Use the device to disable him, and put both robots in bubbles. With that, the robots have been taken care of, and you're promoted again.
So, now what?
Well, the director said there's a play being held in our honor, so let's go to the stage.
Use the flashlight for the second time all game, and find Dot, Rookie, PH, and Jetpack Guy throwing you a surprise party as a way of thanking you for stopping the robots. We then get this really cute credit sequence, and...
What the fuck?
Yep, we're not done yet. Mission 13, an agent's work is never done. After that loud crash, you get a call from the director, who reveals that not only are the HQ monitors down, but all of the elite puffles and G have gone missing. He warps you all to HQ, and you find this enormous hole in the wall of the gadget room, along with a giant oil can. Oh no. Hop in the snow trekker, and you finally see what the test robots were really up to. They were collecting all of those objects to build this giant monstrosity known as the Ultimate Protobot 10,000. The Ultimate Protobot has imprisoned G and the Puffles, and now it's going on a rampage to upgrade itself. It attacks the nightclub to steal the turntable, and wow, that 3D model sticks out like a sore thumb. You sneak up onto the gift shop roof and use the macro duster to make it sneeze, which frees Blast.
And from this point on, the final mission is really easy. Just follow the Ultimate Protobot and use whichever Puffle you just saved to hit him.
Lame.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing.
He runs to the dock and tries to steal the boat, so you hit him with Blast to free Loop, which knocks him into the water. He flies to the ski village and spins around to dry himself, so you have Loop tie him up to save Flare. He goes to the beach to find a net, so you have Flare weld his joints to save Flit. He flies up to the beacon to steal the light bulb, so you have Flit fly to drop this anvil on him to save Bouncer. And then he flies off, so you play another round of jetpack adventure. Reach the tallest mountain, have Bouncer hit the boiler with a snowball, which knocks him down and frees Chirp, have Chirp play some notes to break the glass and save Pop, and then have Pop blow a bubble to save G. With everyone safe, use the robotomy gadget one last time and shut down the Ultimate Protobot for good. With that, the Ultimate Protobot is disassembled, everything is put back in place, and the island finally goes back to normal as the director gives you one last promotion.
And that's the end of the game. What'd you think?
Meh.
Well, regardless, I'm glad we got to spend it together.
Well, it's been fun, but I should probably get going.
Yeah, me too. Someone's gotta sell bread on Christmas.
Aw, but we were just getting to the good part.
Well, you know what they say, all's well that ends well.
Sure, why not?
You know what? Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas.
Wait a minute, this is my house.
Game conquered. Club Penguin Elite Penguin Force is honestly pretty charming. I wouldn't recommend it to people who didn't grow up with Club Penguin, but if you did, it can be a fun nostalgia trip. The puzzles are clever, the minigames can be fun, and the story and writing are enough to keep you engaged throughout. It's also not a very long game, so if you want to go for a stroll down memory lane, I think it's worth it. And there we have another successful Christmas, even if it didn't quite go as planned. The holidays can be a very stressful time, but that doesn't mean you should forget what's really important. Merry Christmas, everybody. Huh, would you look at that? A present! Boy, I sure can't wait to see what I got this year.
You know, maybe freezing to death isn't such a bad thing.